In this series of lectures, we will cover the topics directional derivative, partial derivative, total derivative, Jacobian means Jacobian matrix, extreme value of functions of two variables. And the book which we will follow is T.M. Apostle, Mathematical Analysis, S.C. Malik Arora, Mathematical Analysis, T.M. Apostle, Calculus Volume 2. So we will follow this book. Now come to the directional derivative. So suppose S is a subset of Rn and let f from S to Rn be a function defined on S with the values in Rm. Take an interior point C in S and a non-zero vector u in Rn. Now by the definition of interior point, there exists a real number r greater than 0 such that the ball of radius r at C will be contained in S. This by the definition of interior point of a subset. Now take a real number h small enough so that C plus HU is contained in the ball of radius r centered at C. So let us understand it by figure also, what I am going to do. Suppose this part denotes the Rn and u is any vector in Rn. This is suppose origin, although it is not possible to draw Rn in a plain paper because n may be greater than 3 also. Now but for our convenience or to make the things clear, I have done it like that. Suppose this is the set S in Rn and on this set there is a point C. Now because C is the interior point, so we can draw a ball of radius r. This is the ball of radius r, BRC, which is fully contained inside S, and u is any direction. So what we have done is that I have taken h so small such that C plus HU remain inside the ball. Why is it remain inside the ball? Because the function is defined over S, and if C plus HU will be inside the ball, C plus HU will be inside the domain S. So H is a very small quantity. Now if I see its image, suppose this we denote by Rm. So there is a point Fc and there is a point f of C plus HU. Now we want to define the directional derivative. Now the directional derivative of f at C in the direction of u is denoted as f dash cu, and it is defined as f dash cu to be the limit h is going towards 0, f C plus HU minus Fc upon h. So it is not necessary that this limit always exists. Whenever it exists, then we say that the directional derivative of f at C in the direction of u exists. Otherwise, the directional derivative does not exist. So actually what is directional derivative? Let us again understand it by figure, although it is not possible to make figures for it. Suppose this is C and this is C plus HU. When you will take its image Fc and f of C plus HU, you will get two vectors of Rm, and f of C plus HU minus Fc is the difference between them. So this difference is the change in the value of f when we will move from C to C plus HU. What is this difference? This difference is the change in the value of f when we move from the point C to C plus HU. And now I am dividing it by h. H is a very small quantity. which is going towards 0, so it means this vector is going towards 0, so the directional derivative is nothing but the rate of change. This is the rate of change of f at c in the direction of u. So directional derivative is nothing but the rate of change of f at c in the direction of u. Now note one thing, in the while defining the directional derivative we have taken that u is equal to non-zero. U is a non-zero quantity, but suppose u is 0, then what will happen? In the definition, if u is 0, then this will become fc minus fc, which is 0 divided by h, so it is 0, and when we will take limit h is going towards 0, we will get 0. So it means if u is 0, even then this definition is valid. So either you take u to be non-zero or you take 0. In both the cases the definition is valid, but for u is equal to 0, its value will become 0. So f dash c at 0 is 0. Now let us recall, by ei we denote the ith coordinate vector. So ith coordinate vector in Rn means the n tuple such that the only ith entry is 1 and other entries are 0. So that vector is noted as ei. Now because we can determine directional derivative in any direction, so we can determine the directional derivative in the direction of ei. So the directional derivative in the direction of ei is nothing but the partial derivative, ith partial derivative, which is denoted as difc. So difc is what? Difc is equal to f dash c ei. So ith partial derivative is the directional derivative of f at c in the direction of ei. So now let us do some examples to understand this thing. So example number 1, consider function f r2 to r defined as f of xy is equal to x plus y if either x is 0 or y is 0. Whenever there is a or, it means both may also be 0. So either x is 0 or y is 0 or both is 0. In all the three cases will be covered here, and 1 otherwise. Now take the point to be the origin. C is equal to 0, 0, and let us take u to be even. Now we will determine the directional derivative of f at origin in the direction of even. That is actually the first partial derivative. So by definition, f dash 0, 0, 1, 0, this can be written as limit h is going towards 0, f 0, 0 plus h 1, 0 minus f 0, 0 upon h. Now this is f of h comma 0 and f of 0, 0, because both are 0, so its value is, by the definition of function, is 0. So let us see, its value is 0. So f of 0, 0 is 0, 0 plus 0 is 0, and f of h 0 is h plus 0, so it is h, so h upon h is 1, and limit h is going towards 0 for 1 is 1, so the limit is 1. So it means the first partial derivative, or f dash c even, exists and its value is 1. Now take u to be e2 now. That is second partial derivative we are going to determine. F dash 0, 0, 0, 1, limit h is going towards 0, f 0, 0 plus h 0, 1 minus f 0, 0 by h, and this is limit h is going towards 0, f 0 h minus 0 upon h, so it is limit h is going towards 0, h by h is equal to 1. So again d2 f 0, 0 is 1, that is second partial derivative of f exists and its value is 1. Now let us see some another direction and determine the directional derivative in that direction. Suppose I take the direction u to be 1, 1 and now I want to determine f dash 0 0 1 1. So by definition it is f of 0 0 plus h 1 1 minus f 0 0 by h. So it is f h h minus f 0 0 by h. So by definition f of f h h, because both h are non-zero, so its value is 1, and because both are 0, so its value is 0 plus 0, that is 0. So it is limit h is going towards 0, 1 by h. Its limiting value will be infinite. So this limit does not exist. So it means if we determine the directional derivative in the direction of 1 1, it will not exist. So what does it mean? The directional derivative of f at 0 0 in the direction 1 1 does not exist. In this example, what is happening is that partial derivative exists. There are two partial derivatives because the function is of two variable function. So there are two partial derivatives and both the partial derivative exist. But directional derivative in all the direction does not exist. So it means partial derivative exists does not imply that all the directional derivative exist. But as by the definition, if all the directional derivative exist means partial derivative exists, because partial derivative is a special type of directional derivative, or you may say partial derivative is the directional derivative in the direction of coordinate vectors. Okay, in the next lecture we will see some more examples.